right, we're here for another episode of the Connective Vibe, and we have our special guest, Vena. We've had her on before. She's definitely connected to what we do here and what her life is, and we have her special guest. Great to have you today.
Thank you. Good evening, Queen Danny. How's everyone? Hope all is well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely all is well. It's just so much going on with us as individuals, but also with what we're experiencing in everyday life and almost every moment, that you really have to be aware and take accountability and just really be aware, because if you get in a trance, you might miss something, right? If you're not paying
Exactly. Oh
attention.
yeah. Yeah.
So
It is recommended to always meditate and be mindful and in the present. And sometimes it's not easy to do that.
yeah, and those type of awareness practices, I even especially like for me personally, when I'm out and about at certain times of the day, or or anything, I really just want to be aware, and just really put good gratitude out when I come in other people's presence, good energy out, and be
Right.
reciprocal to them, especially if they give it back. I see most people do. As long as you treat them well, they'll treat you well. Some people, of course, but then I'm not connected to the outcome of somebody's, and you never know, somebody might be, most of the time their thoughts are somewhere else. They might be in your presence, but their head's not, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's very easy to be unfocused. So
Yeah.
right. So anyways, so I was telling you I want to talk about some about holistic approach, holistic treatment. And as my background as a LVN for, like I said, 3 decades.
Yeah.
And and then after like 20 something years, I went ahead and continue my education, my higher education, to go to a bachelor's of science in alternative medicine instead of going to the common nursing program for Asian people. So I get away from that. So um and the reason being for that, I actually just had a little talk with my coworker today, and she asked me again, like, why did I take that course instead of going to nursing? And my intention is because, first of all, I didn't really want to be a nurse. So it's just got influenced by my parent, my mom. So I told her I can be a very nurturing person, but not to be somebody. I found myself that I'm not the type of person that will be giving medication. I actually, I actually during my first early practice as a nurse, as an LVN, I poked my hand with the insulin.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was so brave enough to say nothing. So, well, thank God I'm still healthy. I'm not taking any medications. I regulated my food lifestyle pretty well, in spite of having 3 children when I was, what, 21. So, and now I'm a grandma. So going back to my study, so when I found out about the course of alternative medicine, I said, wow, this is the way I want to go. And as I learned things about during that course of time, I learned a lot of modalities about alternative medicine. And that's when I got into my Reiki practice. So, but of course, Reiki is a certification. You just have to take certification. You don't need a bachelor's degree on that. You just have to be really, that's what you want, to be a channel from source to someone who needs healing or boost I'm calling it boosting up the energy level of a person. So so I started myself and then my family, and now I'm on, I opened my little business and still working on it. And yeah, so that's what I want to um discuss today, Kuya Danny, and see how we can flow with this, um how we can make ourselves a better healthy person, I guess, right?
Yeah. No, it is. It's very interesting, and people, a lot of people who listen here are open to alternative things. We have new people that came in. Some are on different levels. Some are and some are advanced, and they know about Reiki and they know about
Right.
energetic fields, and a lot of them have
Mhm.
definitely have knowledge of Brother Sabi and different people that through
Yeah.
the course have went holistic or not
Mhm.
alternative medicine. It's funny that we
Right.
call it alternative when it was the mainstream not long.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was trying to refresh my memory of who is the father of medicine. So of course I look it up. It's Hippocrates, right?
Yeah.
So and then who is the father of alternative medicine? I don't know if you know Edgar Casey.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you?
I know
Yeah.
who
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
that's right. That's right. That's right.
I
So
know I yeah, I know of him. Yeah.
yeah. So I encountered him before, but I didn't know that he was the father of holistic medicine. So
It'd be
it,
good to look at when we talk about so-called the father of medicine, right?
mm-hmm,
Goes into Greek, right? What
mm-hmm.
we're talking about. Really, what were they using? If that would be something to look in, because I wouldn't doubt that they really were using holistic medicine.
Yeah. And I've read actually
Yeah.
before, and then they just mix with something else to make it to make a, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to say something before.
Yeah.
So what I heard from, I mean, not heard, I read from one of the book that in UK they're actually using the alternative, not the medicine per se, pharmaceutical or something.
Um,
So yeah.
yeah, now way more than we do. Actually, they actually use psilocybin for depression, which is magic mushrooms
Mm.
for depression and having success with it.
Right. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All this
I think they
natural,
use it microdosing, they call it.
the herbalism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of modalities there for alternative medicine, and it's just so fascinating. And I was researching the oldest medicine, holistic medicine. Have you encountered of Ayurveda, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Hindi.
The
Yeah.
Yeah, from India. So
Yeah.
that's the oldest medicine. This is actually my next step.
Okay.
There's a school here in Whittier, but I don't know yet how's the curriculum gonna be, but and that pertains to the real holistic, because
Is that on Uptown?
yeah,
I think I've seen.
around that area. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I saw it on the website,
Yeah.
because I really want to study that because of the fact that we are all different composition, our body type, our cells. Yeah, we have the same kind of
Blood.
amount of
Yeah.
cells, but it's not really like that, right? So yeah, and I think one of the barrier, and I was just telling my coworker, is the payment source, or how you're gonna pay the service.
Yeah.
And most of the low income people, or even the median, right? We depend on health insurance because we pay for it as well.
Yeah.
So, so that's why, that's when I believe that rich people can afford it. That's why they're more healthier,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because it's usually not covered by insurance,
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
depending
even
on what
if,
it is.
yeah, and even if it's covered, sometimes I hope it's not, but the quality of that care, let's for example, chiropractor, acupuncture even, if it's, I know you're doing it, but I don't want to discourage you, but sometimes they're not putting more effort on it if it's covered by insurance.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Hopefully those acupuncturists that do, relying on the health insurance are really giving their full,
Yeah.
treatment of how it's really gonna be done. Because like for me, when I went to acupuncturist, it's paid cash. They accept the
Yeah.
insurance, but they said we'd rather not because there's a lot of, like a lot of paperwork, and they're not even paid the same amount as a
As the insurance.
cash pay, as a
Yeah.
cash pay.
Yeah, as the insurance.
So,
Keep up with it. Yeah.
yeah. And with that, I don't know, like it's a law of compensation,
Yeah.
universal. Yeah. You provide that service, you're gonna get compensated the way how it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
right? So, and I just wonder, like the the um the the medicine practice right now, like especially with managed care right now, how the volume of the amount of patient that they're seeing, are the patient really getting the quality of care?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that's the thing that I observed, like a patient goes to a clinic appointment and they have, let's say, a headache. Is that doctor really going to assess the whole root of that headache? Or are they just gonna give medication and then say come back if it gets worse, go to the ER
I
or
think
the urgent
I'm pretty sure it's B.
care? Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. One of the things I have a Kangen water machine, which is makes 7 different types of
Mhm.
ionized water, and it's a
Mhm.
Japanese company that's been around since the 70s. And I used to go to a lot of their trainings and stuff and learned a lot, and found out that they in Japan, they actually they don't treat the symptoms, they treat the root cause.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they would even say that that doesn't really happen here. It's the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what they made. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I thought about, like, let me, I know that I'm not a degree I mean, like a doctor or something that practices that kind of treatment. But somehow, with my little knowledge and my, continuous acquiring those kind of information,
Hmm.
at least helping one person, for me, it's already rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, just to talk about, that's why I want to enhance my credentials, my knowledge, reading books, certification, what have you, because
Is
our
your
mindset is our mindset is always like, what degree you have. Okay,
Yeah.
let me show you my degree, because even doctors, they have that degree like UCLA, USC, what have you, but are you really giving that care? And it's
What?
just
Yeah,
sometimes,
right.
it's very disappointing, when a doctor is rushing you, um especially elderlies,
Hmm.
that's the thing. And that's what I mostly want to and advocating um
Well,
at this point,
yeah,
um
right.
and even at one point when my mom goes to she was about, well, I don't, hopefully she's not taking it, but she said she's not. So they check her her cholesterol level, and then they say, oh, the doctor is gonna give me this cholesterol pill, you know, the statin. I said, no, don't take that. This was
Yeah.
this
Stalin,
was
take the
yeah,
Stalin.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
that take that certain medication, and they
there's a
said,
reason
no,
I'm
don't.
saying Stalin.
Yeah. No, not him. Yeah. So don't take that medication. So then
It's
yeah.
funny because there's a lot of people and doctors coming out saying the whole thing with cholesterol wasn't what we thought it was. That's really going around now. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah. When
Yeah,
I talk to my patients before, like because I'm supposed to be like we giving them education or following up with their medications.
yeah,
And then I look at their lab work. They said, you don't need to take those anymore.
yeah,
Just continue your diet and exercise.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's
Anyways,
amazing. A lot
yeah.
of times I almost feel like the medical, well, I don't feel, I know the medical the arms or the military complex is really tied into
Mm-hmm.
the Medi-Cal complex.
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah.
I use the word Medi-Cal, always using those like my experience is, what do you feel like? Let's see if we can get on the computer and match your symptoms with the med we're going to give you. Bump, bump. I doctored you. And that's, I'm just honest. It's hard for me to play the game because I'm one not to play the game.
Well, especially right now, that's
Yeah.
even, because of the technology, because of the information in the website, it's just going to be more, I think, challenging because the trust that, how people don't go to the doctor because supposedly they don't trust them, right? So what they do, because of the information online, they just go online, and sometimes it's not correct,
Yeah.
you know? So that's the
I
thing.
know a couple people who did that
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
suffered from it after that.
So, yeah, maybe a home remedy. Let's just say you you slip and fall. You have trauma. Yeah, ice pack right away. Why not? Right? So, I mean, those simple things, home remedy. But if you're talking about a chest pain, I mean, I believe in getting the test that's needed. I believe in that.
Yeah.
Check your blood works, check your, you know, imaging, whatever it is. I truly believe in that. That's what perhaps the one that I really want to really advocate to have that done. At least annually, do your test, do your checking of
It's
your
like
blood level.
it's like a dialysis or diagnosis when you put your car in diagnosis, see every aspect
Right,
from your
right,
water to your fluids to everything about
right.
your car. Yeah.
Exactly the same. I truly believe in
Yeah.
that.
And how are you feeling? What's working? What doesn't work?
Right,
Uh,
right.
I had a acupuncturist, not the one I have now, but in the past,
Mm-hmm.
when I lived
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else, told me we could help you, but you need to come 20 days in a row. And unfortunately, your insurance isn't going to let you do that. I need you, you would need to come probably 20 days.
Oh, I can analyze already what's that mean.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened?
It just, that's what goes with it in that, that what needs to be done is now, even though you're giving these, they may give you some alternative chiropractic or some of acupuncture. I get acupuncture, and then on my own, I do with the same acupuncture. He does cupping,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I definitely can tell the difference.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I had to be, he had to really kind of push it on my over me is stop doing stuff on the day you come in and get this. I need you to really relax and rest after you get your acupuncture.
Right, right,
Start moving and moving stuff or reaching and working. Actually,
right,
this is the
right,
day I will need you to relax.
right.
And even don't go get in a jacuzzi either when the day you do
Uh-huh.
acupuncture. Yeah. I did really
There's a,
like, I've had Reiki twice, and the first time I couldn't tell, but when you did it, I could. Like I told you,
mm-hmm.
it was over in Whittier, uptown, over
Oh,
by this restaurant, a Mexican restaurant underneath, and but or was no, it was actually a sushi place, and above it was like a crystal bookstore,
oh
spiritual
yeah.
bookstore there, and I went in there to just check some stuff out, and they were doing,
Mhm.
Reiki class,
Right.
and they said we're meeting on this day. I went. To me, it was a lot of confusion, a lot of people there, and there was a lot, almost
It's not, yeah.
organized. It wasn't as organized as I would have liked it, but
Mm-hmm.
it made sense to me being a first time. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fight it because even then I was understanding everything's energy and vibration, everything
Mm-hmm.
is.
Right, right. And that's the thing that most of us, well, I think the older generation doesn't is not really as much open as the younger generation now.
Yeah,
So, and that's gonna be challenging, and that's my mission right now, to reach out to older
yeah,
g- generation, because what's happening is, how we wait last minute,
yeah.
when there's already the acute phase rather than preventive. And that's
Yeah.
what I want to make sure that I educate people.
I've really been watching your word behind you. I love your background with the holistic. I think that's really good. I wouldn't even
Oh, thank you.
change that. And I'm
Oh,
looking at
cool.
that word and I'm breaking it down. And what one word I notice, because I'm a wordsmith with
I know
etymology,
you are.
uh, is when I see holistic, I see the connection to whole,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Right away,
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking that. And notice
Hmm.
the word whole doesn't have a W,
Right.
like
Right.
whole, right?
Exactly.
Um, and
Uh,
I thought about it, so I looked it up.
and it's a round too. Whole usually
Yeah.
is a round, right? Yeah.
So I looked it up, but here's the
Uh-huh.
thing. When I looked it up, because when we were talking, if you see me, I don't know if you know, I was on my
Yeah, yeah,
phone.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking up a whole holistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And exactly it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whole, whole,
Whole.
whole, well kept.
Whole well kept.
And the whole that it's spelling whole well kept is the WHOLE, well kept.
Uh-huh. Well kept. Uh-huh.
Wholeness, that connection to wholeness. Even
Right,
goes down
right.
the chapter of wholeness, meets up everywhere. So I'm not going, I
Yeah.
may have to do a word of the day on this one soon.
Oh, no, 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 that's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
So the wholeness in here is like the mental, physical, and emotional.
Yeah.
Sometimes we even capture spiritual, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't really believe in spiritual
Depends on the
thing.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awareness.
So
Yeah.
yeah, um, so that's one thing. And with the mainstream medicine, it's like they just focus on specific symptoms, which is
Yeah.
that's really the one that makes me like, oh, why?
Yeah.
So imagine a patient goes in the hospital, had a pain, there's the pain, morphine, Dilaudid, whatever, right? And then they have a headache. No, not headache. Nausea and vomiting. Oh my God. So
Yeah.
that's another medication, right? So now they have the diarrhea.
Yeah.
Other medication. It's sometimes I really just laugh to myself, like, what are they doing? What is this doctor doing, really? You know? And then so there goes the anti-diarrhea, right? So keep giving him. So later on, patient now for 2 days, there's no bowel movement.
So now they're constipated. Hmm.
Ay, ay, ay. It's just so funny. And in the hospital, okay, one day I was in the hospital and this patient has no PM yet for a long time. We're about to discharge the patient. And I said to the nurse, don't you guys do a manual disinfection? And she said, no, right? I said, oh, really? Wow. So then after a couple of days, guess what? They're going to do a manual disinfection
Yeah.
by the doctor, apparently.
And you called it out. You knew that was coming, or you knew it needed to be done because of where they were at.
I'm on old school because, working in a nursing home taught me a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Even mental health. I mean, it's not a lot with the mental health, but enough that,
They cross over.
yeah, yeah. And not all patient will need a psychoactive medication as well, because
Yeah.
it's more harmful to them because of the side effects.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know right now how is nursing home doing the mental health training, but hopefully I mean, I think some of the nursing home, they're still not well trained when it comes to mental health, and we have shortage of placement for
Yeah.
mental health. And it's just sad that every time a patient go ballistic or aggressive, they send the patient to the hospital right away. So,
Yeah. Instead of depending on the situation, some of it is just temporal.
right.
Or
Yeah,
after a
and
few
it's
hours, you're actually calm over it, through it, and maybe don't have the what I would say actually the reason to keep them on a hold may not
right,
be there anymore.
right, exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, there's no confession because you almost need their confessions of certain things, right?
Yeah, and that's when it comes to this holistic part when as that team like in a nursing home or a family that don't believe in this kind of alternative treatment, so that all falls down now to medicine, Western medicine,
It
and
just
they
keeps
would,
and it keeps doing the same thing over and over. It keeps
yeah,
repeating. Yeah.
and they will just give bunch of cocktail medication that
Yeah.
this
Knock
they
them
will,
out. Wow.
right, and they will look like zombie
Yeah.
or
But you know what? They took that away in a few years ago. And I used to see it. They started just barely medicating them when they were in the hospital when I worked there in 90s, early 2000s. And they kind of took us away from the knockouts, the cocktails,
Mhm.
unless they
Right,
had to. But
right.
I used to see it, to me, it used to be a more effective was to knock them out. No, and then bring them back slowly, then
Okay.
barely medicate them, and they really don't improve much.
Uh-huh.
I've seen that over and over, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Like literally
Knock them
physically?
out, KO them. They maybe haven't slept for days, or only,
Yeah.
depending on what they've been on, what they've been doing, what
Right,
the mental
right.
health thing is. Especially if they're manic or something, and
Right, right.
sleeping well, and then kind of bring them back when they start to
Mm-hmm.
get over the knockout, and then kind of bring them back with the meds. Where I seen them barely give them meds, and they're there longer, and they're not
Right,
getting better.
right. It's just, I mean, for me, it's just so many factors why this, and it different group age, right?
Yeah,
So there's the youngster, but let's just focus on the elderly. Because with dementia, my sister and I actually we were talking about dementia. Wait a minute, it's like dimension, going to another dimension. And so, yeah, hello.
wild
So
dementia. Yeah.
yeah, going to another dimension. So if imagine a
Wow, I
patient.
like that. See, you're becoming a wordsmith.
Oh, oh yeah, my sister and I we do that sometimes. So so then if a person, if the elderly will have that kind of zone, on that zone that they're on a different, remember how they like from the past, they're thinking about the
Especially the
past,
past. Yeah.
or somebody speaking them up. Oh, my daughter, my daughter is speaking, I'm gonna take my daughter to the school, they're
Yeah.
really going from the past. And what I learned from that is like just be in that moment where they at,
Yeah.
because otherwise if if you will contradict them, that's when they're gonna start to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, those things, like, because I was
Yeah.
a staff developer before, right, in a nursing home, so I kind of learned these things so I can share to the nursing assistant.
Yeah.
So when you are coming to their room, make sure that you knock the door so they know who you are, because that's, you know, that's their own place, you know, like,
Yeah.
give them privacy, safety, right? Or else they're going to hit you, or somebody who's sleeping and then you just grab them and not even saying anything. Oh, they're gonna knock you out, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
right? Gonna hit you. So there's a lot of techniques there, not just giving medication.
Right.
You know, because what happens if they said, oh, the patient hit me, what did you do? You know, you're the you
Right.
know already, yeah, what did you do? So it's a lot of training for those kind of
People
uh
situation.
people,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense because
Caretaker,
yeah,
caretaker. Yeah.
because you know, when you look at that, and like what you said is really powerful, is you can't go in there and contradict what they're feeling at that time, specifically being in the moment, right? Um, by not doing that, usually if somebody's in there for a while and you work there, it's the best thing to do is build a rapport, trust.
Right.
And if
Exactly.
you're telling
There's
them
the trust.
that's
Yeah.
not true, they don't trust you, they go the
Oh yeah,
opposite to paranoia,
definitely.
they might box your ears in when they get a chance. Uh, no, really,
Yeah,
they're
that's
scared.
true.
But when
Oh
you get
yeah.
them to trust you, and when they trust you, that's you just created a relationship to a different level. You might get them to do things not other staff can't do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but of course, in reality, there are really some nasty people, elderly, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So and for me, I I really have to do the background, right? Is this person what the military, because you know the trauma, right?
Yeah.
The lifestyle before of this person. Because I somehow, my theory with people, elderly, you know, as you go, even no, even youngster, when they have something in their mind, I mean, like crazy kind of thing. Sometimes I think like there's some parasites in their brain, you know, like literally because of maybe what they're eating, or maybe their, you know, their environment where they grew up, you know, like
Yeah.
being the hygiene, sanitary, you know, you can acquire a lot of
Food.
organism. Yeah. So um so that's another thing for me. My theory on that. Somebody who's like really altered
Yeah,
brain.
it's good because
Yeah.
you because there's so much to find out, especially if you get a hold of the chart and the history. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go into the background. Okay, they how were they married? How was their upbringing? What
Right.
were they substance abuse users?
Right.
How, you know, whatever their history is, or diagnosis of illnesses or mental health or whatever, you can kind to know how to treat them and approach them.
And Kuya Danny, you have to remember it even goes back from conception.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how deep it is.
No, it is. It does go into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because if a mother on my studies for alternative medicine, as as you being conceived, the mother really has a big influence on the baby's health, mental
Yeah,
health as well, especially too. And all the organs in our body, how it's being developed.
yeah. No,
So
you're right. I mean, that mothers have a big. I mean, they are carrying a child that's coming from it. They're a portal in how they carry in that safety zone, right? They're living in this bubble of water, right? Protected.
right, right.
Your emotions, what you eat,
Em- Emotion. I was gonna say that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
what
know
you
what's coming.
eat, you know,
Yeah.
right? Emotions, what you eat, substance abuse,
Right.
alcohol,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
mindset. Do you got a good
Right.
mindset? You know, what,
Oh
how is that
yeah.
affecting you mentally?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I truly believe now that please don't have a child. Don't carry a baby in your tummy if you are not ready. You're
Yeah.
not emotionally, mentally, physically ready.
Yeah.
Because, both of you are gonna suffer. And even if the baby survive, what's gonna be that outcome?
Yeah.
Outcome,
What are they gonna
outcome of that baby gonna
Yeah,
be. So,
exactly. What's gonna be the outcome? What's gonna be their mental health? What's gonna be what is the how is this situation gonna be supporting them and not uh affecting them negatively with what could be going on in the house or whatever that's just causing chaos or whatever, not good for the child to be raised in, needs the nurturing and all that the mothers usually give, but the mothers nurtures, right?
right,
And there are times they're not. I
right.
see that more and more that I would think they would be, but I seems to be more and more that there's that's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and stuff. Yeah, that's you brought up something that really clicked in me when you said that the mental health aspect of a pregnancy, what that transfer to the child in that it really makes sense. What
Mm-hmm.
a person and of course, like we know nobody's prepped for anything here
Mm-hmm.
in the West. They're not prepped for anything now. Mostly just wing it as you go. You learn on the run. You know, nobody's really getting we got a lot of different things going on that kind of causes division. Society seems in Hollywood seems to be raising the children, right?
Right.
And um, yeah, that was good. It is deep. It goes back to the conception. You're right. I like that. It's deep.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I'm seeing life really is very mystical, very complex. And with all these things that I'm learning, I'm reading, I have to like really like which part of this life am I going to follow,
Yeah,
right? Or share. Because another concept there, like how how there's stillbirth, right? Because we talk about like the lifestyle of that mother, how's it? So another thing that I've learned, like when there is a baby miscarriages or something, it's not ready, that's one. Or if it's a stillbirth, that the spirit that's supposed to go there is not, doesn't want to be in that baby. I mean, it's funny the way I'm saying it, but that
it
those
makes
are the
sense to me because you're coming from a whole different. I mean, we're here, and the people listening are definitely open to. We're not traditionalist in knowledge of spiritual and that most
yeah.
the people even who are starting to learn this are really open to it,
No,
and
that's good.
not
Yeah.
we're and the ones who know that are pretty solid have been
Mm-hmm.
going to
Yeah.
be open that maybe because there's a lot of things that maybe the ones who makes the choice aren't the parents, right? That's what you're kind of
Mm-hmm.
saying with I choose not to go this way.
Right, right,
um
right.
yeah.
So yeah, there's really a lot of aspect there that needs to be understood. But in a religious teaching is like a punishment,
Yeah.
right? You're
Hmm.
being punished. So for whatever reason, or maybe in some culture,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? But what goes in that baby is a spirit.
Yeah.
Without and actually that's a question that I had from my friend the other day. I said, do you believe you have a soul? She said yes. So when a person die, where does the soul go? She answered me that it just stays there. Where? I mean, I can't believe that she answered it like that.
Yeah.
I said, so you don't believe that the spirit is there, like maybe guiding you or somewhere, so yeah, I don't get that concept.
What did she say? It just stays. Oh, like You lived your life and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe it's in the grave as well. I don't know.
yeah,
I didn't want to
that's the end of life. Yeah, there's
elaborate
people that have
because,
that.
yeah. Oh,
Uh,
and doesn't believe in reincarnation. That's another thing.
yeah.
Yeah, some people don't, which is
Well, it's
fine.
been Westernly taught. No, it's, I mean, even through the religion, that's where it came through with the
Mhm.
through the religion, right, of the West. Um, Actually, there was all kinds of scriptures that supported it, and actually, the Jews' religion believes in it.
Which for reincarnation?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The Jews'
Yeah.
religion does, but Christianity, Muslim, all Abrahamics, of course, don't. Except no,
Oh,
the
okay.
other two don't.
But Catholicism, they do.
Reincarnation?
No?
No.
No?
Now
Oh,
they
never
have
mind.
some places you go. What is it called? You would know better than I'm thinking of the word right now, and it slips my mind. The kind of the waiting place,
The lim
limbo.
Yeah,
But there's
yeah.
another word, isn't it, for it?
I forgot. Yeah, I know what you
Purgatory? Would that be purgatory?
purgatory.
Oh,
Purgatory.
is purgatory hell? Well, I could see the purge because the word gives it away to me. Because when I see the word purgatory, you know what I see?
Purg
Purge.
No, that's the one, the waiting, the purgatory. As I
Yeah.
think.
Because when I see
Hell is
purgatory, I
hell
see
is
purge,
hell.
right?
Hell is hell.
Well, when you see purgatory, you see purge.
Right.
And
So
really, fire represents cleansing. Because
fire?
fire does cleanse.
Fire?
Yeah, dross and all the stuff when you have
Burn it.
gold, the fire of gold burns off all the dross, so it's a pure gold. Fire, furnace fire, fire's
Mm.
like a cleansing. It wipes away all the dross or the metals away, so that the piece of the gold ends up being pure.
Mhm.
It gets rid of all that. So fire is a cleansing. Um, the thing is, another good one for that is for fire for us going to hell, right? Burning forever.
Yeah.
Is the only thing that burns is physical, but your spirit
Right.
is not physical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that spirit, what is that? Is that the energy, the frequency, the wave? It's just so, for me, is very complex.
It's a
Is that
conscious,
like
yeah,
a
it's conscious
wind, a
energy.
wind, just
Yeah,
right?
it's a
So,
conscious energy
right.
be directed. Here's what my take on
Mm,
when we pass.
mm.
We definitely, if you're not done, you're going to come back again.
And that's the thing that
One lifetime doesn't.
I can relate with that. I'm not gonna say, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
doesn't.
gonna say I believe it or I don't believe it. I can relate to that
Yeah,
because of so many, why would, like me, why would I feel like, or other people, why would they feel like they're man or they're woman and they're not
here's what
this, but
here's what
it's a
Constantine or the Catholic Church did in the 4th century. They took away all the scriptures that talked about reincarnation, took them out of the canon, because you can't, because the 4th century is when hell burning forever was pushed. It wasn't pushed before that.
mm, mm-hmm,
So you can't have reincarnation and burning in hell. Doesn't go together.
right.
So it was their way to get rid of to leave the fear factor of you're going to burn in forever, right?
Yeah,
This it's all fear based. I mean, it's religion. I
yeah.
mean, Christianity, that religion. In fact, you go to Judaism, they'll tell you hell is the grave. It
Not,
has nothing to do with burning.
mm. Oh, really?
Oh
That's a
yeah, yeah.
grave,
It
the
has
hell.
nothing to do with burning.
What about the hello?
Yeah,
Oh,
it kind of reminded me
I
of.
I tried to avoid saying those now.
I still correct myself in certain
Yeah, I know,
conversations with
right?
people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the word today I was looking at, the word fall and then follow, right? Because fall
Yeah.
is fall if you don't put,
Yeah.
but then it hit me. I said fall, fall. They're both
Mhm.
sound the same, but here's the thing: fall,
Uh-huh.
FOLL, right? Or
Uh-huh.
FOL slash
L.
low is fall low.
Wow.
You're falling low place. Fall
Oh.
low, like
So what are
separating.
you gonna use then? Follow me. Follow.
And remember, and I looked up the word follow. I go, ooh, I gotta look because I thought about this earlier. So I looked it up in that and I was like, it talks about just following somebody else and copying them,
Ah, okay.
meaning just follow them. They lead
Right.
you. And then I start thinking
Right.
that's where the mistake is, and you're not thinking by yourself. The road less traveled is always going to be the right road
Uh-huh.
because the mainstream or the masses are going to always follow.
Follow, yeah.
Follow.
Yeah. That is oh, well, where are we gonna be at then if we don't follow something?
Well, you definitely got to follow your spirit. Be led.
That's yeah.
Yeah. But not
Yeah.
follow trends and
So
religious
yeah.
ideology and governmental ideology and
I
just because
see.
somebody else does it, I do it. Did you
Right,
get
right,
the
right.
intuition to tell you to do it? Is that what led
That's
you?
that's what it means. Follow yourself.
You know,
Follow your own intuition, your
yeah.
own gut
You're,
feeling, you know.
yeah. You're leading. It's going to lead you. It's
Right.
never going to lead. And the more you use it, the more it pops up usable
Yeah.
because
Right,
you're
right.
trusting it.
Exactly. And well, I'm not gonna say unfortunate, but but sometimes and that's the thing that we really have to be aware of, you know, how we can really follow ourselves, you
Yeah.
know, right?
Right.
And not really but at the same time be respectful as well that other people also have their own beliefs and their own identity however they want it. And that's the thing I think that sometimes it's not agreeable for everybody. We have the same different mindset, and if they don't know how to really understand each other, that's where the conflict, and then they're gonna fight and then separate,
Yeah.
right? There's no more camaraderie, there's no more cooperation, and it's just the ego
Yeah.
is kicking.
Well, think if you have, you know what you're saying.
And where did we get that, kuya? The egoistic mindset. Where?
Definitely, you know, that's a good one because I think I put it on one of my new videos. The
Mm-hmm.
ego, I used to say you got to kill it. I don't believe you kill it
Mm-hmm.
anymore. It's almost like your emotions. You don't kill your emotions. They need to be placed in the order they belong.
Right.
If it's
Yeah, that's true.
if your emotions or your ego is your leader, you're in slavery to them. You're not being
Uh-huh.
you. You're not letting your real self lead you. Ego's like the false sense of self, almost like the
Mm-hmm.
shadow person part of you is leading you.
Right, right. And I
It
think
loves to connect to the emotions. It really does.
the ego sometimes for me can be your safety net kind of thing. But sometimes if a person don't know how to use it strategically,
Mhm.
it's not gonna be good for that person, you know. I think that's when they become narcissistic.
Yeah.
Right?
Always it's like you met people and that like, oh man, I just got a new car. I got a
Mm-hmm.
new car and mine's better than yours. I got a
Mm-hmm.
new job and mine's better. I make more. You've seen that before, right? Always
Yeah, I
they
heard, yeah.
the one uppers. They always want to one up you, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
totally ego based, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have no knowledge it's their ego. They accepted it
Mm-hmm.
themselves because they
Right, right.
didn't know, right? You said
Yeah.
something last time we talked that I'd like you to talk about. You
Which one?
said that you're feeling that like your awareness and that feeling of knowing certain things and in your spirit, you can feel it stronger, like your intuition or your guidance of what you're supposed to do or hearing good, knowing stuff. You said that it kind of started going like it just got stronger, right? You remember saying
Right. Yeah. And here comes the fear. Like, how am I going to use it in a good way and effectively, and at the same time benefits me and the rest of people around me?
yeah,
And so far, I'm like just slowing it down. I'm practicing now more so really meditating every morning as and you know what's so funny, Kuya Danny? Remember I told you I've been waking up 3 o'clock
That's why I
or
text you when I did the
5.
other day.
Yeah, but I was asleep.
2:56.
Yeah, it's so funny that lately for a few days I've been sleeping, like straight. So that is very unusual. But I have lots of dreams, during those times.
Do you
So
monitor your
yeah,
dreams? Are
I'm
you writing
sorry.
them down or remembering them?
I did one time because it was pertaining to my dad, and I haven't talked to my sister yet because we have a very strong connection. So yeah. And my sister would say, like, I'm so jealous because you're dreaming about our dad. Said, don't be, because it's scary sometimes. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Because before, like, okay, I dream a lot of those my my relatives, my grandparents,
Yeah,
right? When their anniversary comes, their birthday, I dream about them all the time.
yeah.
And always those people who already departed. What is that all about? And my sister said, well, you're just getting some more wisdom. I said, wisdom for what? And I guess this is it. This is the
Well, the
wisdom I'm
thing
acquiring.
the dream state is the
Mm-hmm.
other dimension of you as you put this body in this realm down. Your spirit
Mm-hmm.
and the other 7 aspects of you in the 7 other dimensions
Right.
is the reality. I would say that when you leave this physical body, how your dream is what you'll experience. It'll be like that.
Like I have an out of body experience.
Well,
Uh,
you're really well. No, what I mean is like dying would be like what going to sleep and having a dream. That's going to be your
oh.
experience. You're in that place because how many times that you would go in that place, and it's not like a movie where you go like this. It's like it's real, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You might even get pricked or like I mentioned I do is go places,
Right.
get
Right.
rub against some brush, scratch my arm up. In the place I scratch my arm when I wake up and come the next morning, or when I wake up and come back, that arm where I scratched in the
Right.
dream is scratched.
Right. Right.
Is that you are going to the other realm of the other parts of you that's in a reality, and you're traveling there and you're seeing the
Right.
different realities. Some of it sounds like you're going to some chaos places.
Yeah.
That's part of the experience.
Family. It's more of family
Yeah.
dynamic. That's the
Is it
thing.
chaos?
Oh, not necessarily, but it's
Okay.
just more on some disagreements or some kind of
Yeah.
thing like that. So it's really, yeah. So I'm just trying to cool it down and make sure, like, okay, Vina, what does this mean? So yeah, but
Maybe
my
someone's leading you into some of your dynamics with your family, even with your mom, what's
yeah.
happening in that realm too, because the reality, we got 7 chakras, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
have 7 realms of ourselves
Right.
that
Okay.
are the Humpty Dumpty. That's the Humpty Dumpty story. You're broken in 7 dimensions and you're coming
Mm-hmm.
together again through the 7 and coming to a place that your lens is going to be able to see yourself everywhere in the 7 places
Right, right. All at the same time.
at the
But
same time.
I have to see it in my dream.
Yeah,
Is that what
because you're not really dreaming, you're traveling.
and that's another thing. Yeah. That's another
You're
thing.
going to the other dimensions of yourself.
Right. And it's open at 3 o'clock, between 3 and 5.
Like you said, what Dolores Cannon said, it's like the veil gets thinner for the portal where it's not like this thick. Now it's not. You can go through it easier.
Mm-hmm.
The layer's
Yeah.
not there. You can go like that 3 o'clock. It's very quiet. There's something about it.
Right. 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 Very, very light. Yeah. It's a lot of excitement to explore those kind of
I,
experience.
I went
So.
into this dream. This was over a year ago. Um, and I went to this place and I went in to this like hotel,
Mm-hmm.
And I was very aware in the dream that I was there for a purpose. And I was really observing everywhere I was going, feeling the frequencies. And I ran into these three women. And I looked at them, and then I'm talking to them, and they go, I got something for you. And I go, I know you, you look familiar, but I can't tell you exactly, but I know something's about you that I know, and you have power. And she smiled. She smiled. She said, gave me car keys, right? And said, here, downstairs, you're gonna see a Lincoln Continental. Old car, right? Big car, the Lincolns. And it's, and I go, where am I going? And she goes, do I need a map? I said. She goes, it will be open to you as you travel. You'll know where to
Oh,
go.
wow.
And
Really?
yeah, and then, but you have something you need to do. You have places you need to go. And I looked at her, all three of the women, but this one woman really, she was like the spokesman. And I was like, are you like family connected? Are you my ancestors? Are you my guides? What's my connection to you? She goes, you know us. We're here.
Oh,
We're watching over you. Don't worry. You're being watched over.
oh yeah. Oh my
That's what
goodness.
that one said. And he goes, but you need to go. So when the next thing I got, the dream was so real, right?
Uh-huh.
It was one of those ones I know that was just not a regular dream, but it had power. I remembered every detail of it.
Right.
And then I went and drove in the car, and then I went to this place. And as I went to this place, everything changed from chaos to everybody was in unity. And I mean, from then on, the next 3 months, every dream was a unified dream. And then I got up the next morning and it hit me. Lincoln Continental.
Okay.
Lincoln means water. And then
Oh, really?
continental, right? And then continental is connected to continent.
Content,
Right?
yeah.
And
Water.
then she
Water.
gave me a
Surround.
vehicle, right? Which was a vehicle. Named
Oh,
those things water and continent, right? Lincoln Continental.
right.
And said, and it was very sturdy, and it was white. It was completely like really, really, really white, really like it was new, freshly painted.
That's
And
how
then I drove and went to this place and started meeting these people in this like a city, and I started observing them and noticing this isn't like the world that I came from here. This chaos, division, all the negativity, everybody was in a flow of what they were supposed to do. And they didn't get in other people's business. They didn't get in the talk about like the person with the business next door. They
Yeah.
didn't, they're this and their family's this and they're sleeping with this and they're, none of that. Everybody was in the flow, concentrated creativity in what they did. And then I even noticed, I go, they're talking to me. They're not being rude. Like, get out of here. You're bugging me because I'm busy. But their mindset was unity. And every time I go back, they would show me more unity until the last dream I had with them. I was in this building that was like stories tall. And we were in this classroom, and there was a bunch of them. They were in there, a bunch of the people in that place. And I was in front, like teaching them, almost like a teacher, right?
Right, right.
And then we heard this big like destruction, like this, like something fell.
Right.
And I looked and I go, that's a structure. That's not a plane. What was that? And then I said, come on, we're all going to go outside and look at it. And then we went
There's
through
some
this
earthquake.
exercise, and I was teaching them and I was learning at the same time. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
because other structures were falling.
Oh,
And I would go, listen, you can hear it fall now. Then look, because you're going to hear it, then you'll see it. And then I would go 7 steps to the right, and we'd all move in unity. 7 steps, and it would fall. Then I go 7 steps to the left, 12 steps to the left. We move over, it fall. But we all moved together. Nobody went their own way. Nobody questioned. Everybody was in unity. And then what I remembered was listen, then see. You're going to hear it first, then you're going to see it. Just that you're going to hear it first, and then you're going to see it. And I could hear it, and then I would look and see it. Then I would say, go to your left, go to your right, go forward.
so what does that mean?
Everybody was in unity, but structures are falling. That means old types of realities are falling.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's heavy. Yeah.
And it was a place because it was a dream. You know, in the dream, it was not a place of the chaos we see on this level.
Right, right.
This was a place of everybody was I called it minding or mining your own business.
Mm-hmm.
Like mining. Everybody, if he was a blacksmith, he was the best blacksmith. A1.
Yeah.
If this person was working on creating art, they were the best at it. And because they were so creative and not worried about this person.
Anybody else.
They
Yeah.
were in unity and harmony together. And that's
Right,
what I
right.
noticed like that. There's another reality that we have. That's not, this one's chaos.
Well, what if we're just dreaming at this time?
Huh?
What if this is just a dream right
There's
now?
part of it, it is. There's
Right?
part of it, yeah.
So the other one of me is just enjoying life there, or
The other
maybe
one of you is starting to see you too.
seeing me.
I went
Yeah,
into a whole thing because I was looking at this, even like you said, conception, the different layers and conception of the egg, right? The sperm goes into the egg, right?
Right.
And only one gets it, not the thousands that came through. The one gets in.
Exactly.
But there's layers of that egg. What if there's 7 layers of that egg? Right? So 7 U's.
Right. Seven what? 7 years?
7 aspects of yourself in the 7 different dimensions. Because I'm looking at what if this egg is 7 layers? Because the reality, the sperm was you at one time. Right? And then you hit it, and there could be 7 layers within this too.
Right.
And then it goes in, it penetrates and has to go all the way through to break in.
You know what now? I'm thinking about now something.
I went off a tangent. We were talking about medicine.
No, I'm thinking of something. I wonder if, okay, so it's a cell, it's a sperm and egg cell, and it's supposedly alive.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm wondering, does that have already a soul in it? I mean, maybe a, crazy thinking.
Deep, right? You could see that it was definitely equipped. And notice it's called seaman, like a Navy man, seaman.
Yeah.
Because it knows how to maneuver in water.
Swimming.
Yeah,
it's a swim. Yeah. So
like
salmon.
Salmon swim upstream, not midstream.
Salmon?
Yeah. Salmon swim against the flow.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Notice it's called salmon, like Solomon. Solomon.
Solomon?
Yeah. Soul of man.
Solo, a one man, solo man.
Yeah.
Oh my, too many common like sounds and stuff. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So I come when I said about Ayurveda that I wanna going back to the alternative medicine. So Ayurveda is Ayur means Ayur is life, and then Veda is science, knowledge. So it's knowledge of life.
Yeah.
So just that word alone, knowledge of life, it's really the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then Reiki is energy healing, which is universal life force as well. So
because you shared to me, it actually comes from there.
India.
I knew it was Japanese, but I didn't, you explained to me that the Japanese got it from India.
India, yeah. And that's why I'm so amazed like the country India, how there's a lot of ancient
wisdom, knowledge,
wisdom and medicine, right? And yet it's supposedly, I don't even know, is it really a third? No, it's not. Is it a third world?
Well, it's been considered that, with the measurements we have of what they say it is, but it's very ancient.
Oh, did they suppress them?
Oh, they were under definitely came under different rules through the years, and British,
yeah.
Yeah. Late 1800s to the early 1900s, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, British is so, and that's another thing, so small country. How did they have those kind of technologies and what do you call this, what do you call that when they go, uh, those people that are traveling?
Like a maritime, maritime,
Those,
uh,
no, the one, the conquerors and the,
mariners going by boat, right?
yeah, yeah, at that
A
time,
ship.
right?
Yeah.
So as small as they are, how did they become so powerful? Yeah,
Ooh, the British or any,
yeah.
they
British,
have
France, I mean, they're small compared to,
other places. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They went there, had the power, had the military, and went there and, definitely conquered through the Queen, through that, and then through even the Pope, right? Even though
yeah,
England and the Pope did have some fallouts in history with the English Church splitting from the Church of England splitting from the Catholic Church, right?
right.
Few hundred years ago, or I don't know exactly the date, but just the power they had. But when you look at like India and everything, there's what I've been really deep diving is, and I haven't started even going into it in any videos because I'm still cultivating it. How I'm learning a lot about the Aryans, what an Aryan really is, right? We've been told Aryans are certain things, and there's a language called Indo-European,
Yeah, yeah. We
which
learned that in
yeah,
our history, Asian history.
and the Indo-European shows you this goes back a long time. When you start even looking at some of the things they have in Iran, China, India, they have
Mm.
even Buddhist with blue eyes
Yeah, 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 you
because
mentioned.
the Aryans
Uh-huh.
had went there and brought a lot of that there. What I'm finding out, it's
Mm.
their connection to a lot of things in Atlantis and all that. So, but that's a whole different,
Yeah.
story. But what I find when you start looking at a lot of the prototypes of like India, Shiva, right, and you start looking at the gods, they all represented an archon that later would come through. Like Krishna means Christ. The word Krishna in Greek is Christ, just like Christ. What we call Christ in English is
Krishna.
Christos, which is in Greek means Krishna and Christ mean Christos in Greek, which means Christ. It's oil.
Christ.
It's oil. It's oil.
Yeah.
It goes
Is that
into,
what?
like we talked about before, into your oil from your pineal gland, pituitary gland, male and
Mhm.
female, two different glands, one's male, one's female. They
Uh-huh.
create uh, 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 um, a yellow, milk and white substance. One of them's yellow, brown and white, gold,
Mhm.
which would be the a land flowing in milk and honey. And when it
Mhm.
goes down your spinal cord, that's the Christ. It's
The
going
oil
descending down. You meditate and you kick it back up, and it ascends back up.
going back.
Ascending and descending, or descending and ascending.
Right, right.
Christ is a oil. That's why they even call it Crisco. Crisco.
Oil. Oh my
It's
goodness.
grease. It's oil, right?
Is that really what it is?
They
Wow.
and I keep doing videos. Especially this recent ones, and I put a lot out to
Mhm.
keep up with. You'll probably catch up on some of them later. Is
Oh
that
yeah.
you start
I
looking at symbolism and
mm-hmm.
language? They're telling us stories. I
Right.
dig the one on the word esoteric and exoteric.
Mm-hmm.
When I read the first half a sentence in etymology on both of them, I said, this told me a whole book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Esoteric.
wow.
Yeah, I heard that one. I mean, I listened to your thing.
And I even put it
Esoteric.
on the screen, the words, right? And it showed you what it means. But
Well, unfortunately,
if you want, but you'll see the
driving. I was driving. I was on the phone, so I couldn't really see
yeah, I
it.
started doing the screen sharing with the words there, and it showed you exoteric meant this is good for the public.
Mm,
And then esoteric means This is private. You must be initiated to the inner circle. And that's
Really?
the first half sentence on both words. Like, wow, you just told me the volumes of what I already knew, but you just right there in front of somebody. If they
Wow, that is
So religion is an exoteric. They're just giving you kindergarten stuff and never teach you past kindergarten.
oh, wow.
It'd be like if I said Humpty Dumpty fell on the wall, Humpty Dumpty took a great fall, all the king's horsemen, all the king's men couldn't put him back together again. And I told them, stop there. That's really exoteric for kindergartners. I'll share with you a little later what the esoteric, what that really means. Right?
That's what it is. Wow, that's
What's the secret? What's the true meaning? So the powers that so-called be, they hid the knowledge. The Vatican's got it hidden. They take it from
right,
and all that.
yeah.
And the everybody's a third. Actually, I just released. Do you know who Albert Pike is?
Albert who?
Pike.
No.
Albert Pike was a Mason in the late 1800s that was actually a brigadier general. And he wrote a book called Morals and Dogma.
Okay.
He wrote 32 chapters, and every chapter breaks down first degree Mason, second degree Mason, but he doesn't tell the 33rd degree. He only tells up to 32, but he gives you this historical lesson that when you watch the video, not this first one, but the second part, which I did, where I'm going to have it on the screen, it shows you the plan of 3 world wars. This book was from 1871. Told you why we would have World War I, why we would have World War II, and why we would have World War III, and the purpose behind it. So they know what they're planners. They do this, and they know we have no idea. They just throw us lollipops and we eat it.
Well, I heard about.
No, we are getting it. We're being initiated within by the initiator within. We're being initiated with these degrees. Because degrees hold fire. When you have a degree, don't have no fire, hence the universities. I said it, yeah. Because degrees means fire. Does that make sense to you when I say that?
Yeah.
Because 350 degrees is hotter, has more fire than 300, right? Or like 360, you would need 360 would make
around.
The torus field. There's a torus field going like this and within us. I will bring this out, how it goes like this. Continually the movement of the energies like this, creating six feet around us, our aura, and it's always going like this, like a
inner, outer.
It's our torus field. It's torus, T-R-O or U, what, T-R-O-U-S or T-O-R-U-S. And then we have coming up here in a few. No, has it happened already? Oh, we're already in the sign of Taurus. Bull.
Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, the bull. Okay.
And if you notice this, because you can look it up on and show even pictures of it, it goes, the energy is always moving like this because it moves in a spiral, because that's why spirit is a spiral. Spirit.
Yeah.
Because the energy moves that way.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's just so complex. And it's when people are not really enlightened yet, they just follow, like you said, follow.
You're blessed to have walked into this. Not you, as you see, not everybody does. A lot of people have no clue where they live.
I'm still learning. I'm still on that road.
But you're open. I'm still learning. I'm still having to correct myself daily on my thinking and what things I do. And like today I'm practicing, don't react when you're doing something, especially driving. I can react driving because I'm just like, you should be driving better than that. I can be like that. Why are you driving so slow? This is Southern California. When nobody's in front of you, that's your time to go. Why are you still going 30? Nobody's in front of you for 2 blocks.
Maybe they had trauma of getting
an accident. They could, but that's me. And so here's my practice. Every time I think that, I go,
yeah.
Don't and concentrate on your breath, even if I'm drying. Don't just breathe Don't worry
Yeah,
about them, how they're driving and what they're doing.
yeah,
How they're driving and what they're doing.
right, right. And why are you upset anyways?
Because to me, I don't know, for my thing is when you're in Southern California in this crowded ass place that has
Uh-huh.
bad traffic, and when you don't have none, take advantage of it.
Because you're in a
Go.
hurry.
Go.
Yeah. Well, I just send love to them. Those sometimes there's like, like
Or
on the
even like,
freeway.
I'm like, why are you making a right turn in the middle of the lane? Hug the curb, you know, so I can go past you. Have respect for the people.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well,
that's the
that
kind of things that I have to be aware of because I don't want to be
right,
taken out of my thought process of maintaining my energy. I don't want to leak. I call it like leaking your oil, right? I don't want to leak my energy.
right,
Because believe me, if you leak in your energy, there's a lot of vampires out there that will suck it up.
right, right,
They're always looking to, there's a lot of vamps.
right. And even if you are even all this meditation or really mindfulness, there's really no matter what, something's on your way, something's really gonna happen. And whether it's a test or
Yeah.
it's really your well, it's kind of like a test on how you really are being strong and resilient and
Mindful. Yeah.
yeah, mindful. Yeah.
That's why I always put on the thing on the videos. It's this platform was to create your own toolbox. So when you need to make adjustments, you can pull out
Mhm.
whatever you need to adjust if you're coming to a place that you need to make a change immediately instead of
Right,
waiting hours later or your energy already goes or
right,
you stop the bleeding almost like, right?
right. And if if you keep that, as long as if a person is getting, and that's going back again to health, right?
Yeah.
So a person will be upset the whole time, never releases it, never never let go of it, and that's over time, that's how it's gonna have that the blood pressure high, stress
Yeah.
level, unable to sleep, all these symptoms. And then what's next?
They kind of multiply on each other. Once you have one,
Right.
then this follows what I'm hearing from you, and then now you can't sleep well, right? Now you're tossing
Yeah.
and turning, or
Right.
whatever you set yourself up for. Because
Right.
I take responsibility why I need to
Deep breathing.
follow my
Right.
breathe. Don't
Right.
follow that thought.
And guess what? What's next? They're gonna go to the doctor and tell all these things that they're doing and they're happening to them. What the doctor's gonna do? They're not gonna ask you. They're not gonna tell you, "Hey, relax. Do your deep breathing." They're not gonna tell you that. They have their pad ready to prescribe medication.
That's the cha-ching, right?
And it
Cha-ching.
depends on your symptoms. You count how many symptoms you have, that's how many medications you're gonna have.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, for every
yeah.
symptom.
And if they don't give it to you, what are you gonna do? End up going to the over the counter and get whatever what is it, melatonin or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I truly believe that every single person it's not gonna work for medication.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about earlier, like, okay, yes, everything is tested, trial, test, blah, blah, blah. So how many did they really do a trial? 1 million people?
That's funny because
Right?
you know what I was gonna do before we got on? I did do, and I didn't like it. I went up and looked at alternative medicines, what it said,
Mm.
and in Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave it like this pseudo thing, and I said, I'm not using this. You sold
Mm-hmm.
out. This article's
Mm-hmm.
not good, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of gonna put it on the screen and
Right, right.
the alternative medicine because there's
Uh-huh.
many of them. Yeah, you're right. It's every symptom. Yeah, because everybody's different, male, female,
Right.
and also blood types and stuff. Yeah,
Right. Blood, some chemical composition plus um That's what Ayurveda is good in for me, because it tests your body type. So per your body type, you can, you can, because imagine there is an allergy. You have some sort of an allergy on certain people. Why? Because we are not all the same.
Yeah, right.
That's just it. That's just one of
We're
uh
unique. We have
evidence,
unique.
one of the evidence. You brother and sister, one of you will have allergy with seashells or maybe pets.
Yeah,
Why is that? You're all the same, brother and sister, supposedly. Are you really?
right.
You know?
Even like you see a brother and sister from, say, even you would see a mix of a
Even
Caucasian.
twins,
Oh,
twins.
yeah, and one's Caucasian, and their mom and dad's Caucasian or and Filipino, say. One
Uh-huh.
looks Filipino, another one looks Caucasian, right?
Yeah.
Or look,
Yeah.
or their eyes colors different. Yeah,
Right. So just imagine those things. I mean, it's really an evidence
the
that it's
genes. Yeah,
obvious that we are all different.
yeah,
So when they have that trial of medication, yeah, it's been trialed for how many years, and how many people did they really do
right. And that's one of the things that was in there. These ethical trials, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, how ethical are they? That's what I'm thinking. Kind of, I better watch.
the jibby jab.
Yeah, or any of the trials of any of them, right? Because it's kind of relying on something without giving. The old folks used to say that your ice box would be your best drug, your drug, your drug shelf, or
Uh-huh.
your medicine should be your ice box or your refrigerator,
Uh-huh.
what you eat.
Yeah. Right, right. So
I'm gonna
yeah,
throw
so
something at you right now. It's gonna surprise you.
what?
We've been on an hour and a half.
Wow.
It
Well,
doesn't. It doesn't really
it's
feel that. That's weird to
oh
me.
yeah. Wow. It is still recording. That's
Yeah,
my
because I fixed it. I can go
yeah.
15
Yeah,
hours,
because
30 hours.
well, I really hope that whoever's gonna watch this really have that realization and sharing, about medication is not the last resort for any symptoms.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can be, and that chronic thing, like I tried every single non-medicinal therapy or approach. I have a back pain. What is this? It can be something is telling me like, shoulder, you're carrying something.
yeah,
It may not be physically carrying. So those are the things that I want to educate people,
yeah,
right? Yeah. So yeah, mindset. Your heart, you have chest pain, but a lot of patients that goes to the hospital with a chest pain, I mean, internally nothing is wrong, right?
yeah,
But of course, they're gonna have high palpitation or those kind of thing, or blood pressure. But what happened before you had the chest pain?
yeah,
Not just the thing is, they just say like a week ago, maybe the longest is 2 weeks, on when I read an H&P, right? But really, what really was going on with this person?
yeah,
And on top of that, if that person is taking a lot of medications, who knows, there might be some side effects already going on.
yeah.
So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of challenge, but I'm just hoping at least one, two, three people I can touch and educate them.
I
So, and it
know.
starts with my family.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the hardest place to start. They
Yes.
can be your biggest critics, right?
Yeah. Oh, my sister. Yeah. She got some, and she's an RN. She's diabetic at the age of, I don't know, early 50s, maybe
Yeah,
early 50s.
yeah,
And I tried to share with her things, but she just have her, mindset
yeah.
of
And that's kind of the shame. I was looking at this. things happening, right? So things have been happening fast, especially the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see a lot of things are still happening, but they've kind of changed differently.
Mm-hmm.
How some would say that this is like the book of Revelations is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
But the word revelation, which we always think that means apocalypse, which it does, but the word apocalypse in Revelation actually means revealing that which is hidden. A lot of this is happening so people will wake up.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of, if you don't wake up after some of this, I don't know what to tell you. You definitely will have to do
Yeah,
it again.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Right. Right. Yeah. Because it's really, I mean, for me, okay, and I'm just glad that here, US, they still allow this kind of alternative medicine, like massage, this Reiki,
how good is massage?
massage. How good?
Yeah. And your
It
in your professional
it depends on the person, on the massage therapist. It really depends. What I've learned about that, if a therapist, I think I mentioned this to you, if the therapist has a different energy, it may
you did
possibly
tell me. Yeah.
you may possibly go to you. I mean, like transmit to you. And you have to really know that therapist. So the minute that you feel sore, and there's a technique in that too. When while they're doing the pressure points, you have to do your deep breathing. I kind of like learned that on my own. Nobody
Mm.
told
Yeah, I never
because
heard that, but now I think you did mention that because you did mention this to me before.
yeah,
And you mentioned
because
it makes
yeah, if
sense
you
to me.
do right, because I've tested it before. I never knew like, why am I sore? But the minute I learned about the deep breathing and releasing it, I started practicing my deep breathing when I'm doing when they're doing the massage on me, and then the pressure when they're doing
Mhm.
pressure, deep breathing, nothing is sore
Yeah.
after that. Yeah, but it's very it's a complementary thing, that doing my Reiki and my massage and my acupuncture. For the longest time now, I haven't had acupuncture because I'm pretty good,
Yeah.
Mostly in my stiff neck and everything. So far, it's good.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I really appreciate alternative medicine, and I want to know more. I want to know more.
And you know any
Um,
good books maybe you could anybody would want to know about, or you can, I know you showed your Reiki book. Is that the one you got to go when you were going to school to get
oh no,
certified?
no. I just
Because that's
bought this.
Ayurvedic, right?
Yeah, just bought this in a bookstore, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, no. In a like a crystal store.
Yeah.
It's in San Diego. Wait, no. What's that? Not Escondido. By the beach. I forgot what's the name of that.
Oh, I got it.
After La Jolla.
Um,
It starts with E, I think.
not Escondido.
No, it's by the beach. I forgot the name.
Yeah, I'm not remember.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then I got this basic ideas, science of mind from the swap meet in San Diego. And what's so funny with this, somebody owned it, right? And he or she wrote about, what do I think about my money?
Hmm.
She got a little journal here that she shared. I
Yeah.
said, wow, this is good. So it's like
Pretty good.
affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
So
yeah, I like that.
yeah, so the science of mind is really what he talks about first, how what we believe, like religion, but then the power of our mind. So mind is different from brain, right?
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's like mind is more like spiritual kind of thing
Yeah, it's
for
not
me.
just contained in the mind. It's very, it's not just the brain. It's
Right.
beyond the brain, connected to the yeah, it's very
Right.
It's very deep because we share books here. I mean, I did some book reads even on a couple of them. I went over the last book of John. I'm actually reading Manly P. Hall's book. So any books that you have on alternative medicine, um, and all that is if people interested, definitely, we would want you to get that of something that you would look forward to doing alternative medicine, and many of you here, whatever it may be, especially with Reiki, energetic flow of energy, as we, have came to realize how much energy, and trying to really maintain and lift up our energy frequency and vibration, how we can do those things by using these different things that have been around ancient. They're not new. They're not like
Right.
medicine
And
that's only 120 years old or less.
it was hidden.
Yeah, it's been around a long time. The
And
thing
yeah,
is,
and
we're not, and I should speak for myself. It seems like society doesn't understand it as well as maybe our ancestors were masters, and they didn't practice, they were.
right.
By
And
using,
also,
yeah,
yeah, we have to be aware also that our pineal gland was kind of
yeah,
like distorted. I don't know if
yeah,
that's the right word.
yeah,
You're right. So it's sometimes for the people, it kind of be challenging or not even really gonna open up anymore. Right. Because
tapping,
of the what we eat, even the toothpaste, right?
yeah.
So
Different chemicals could have that reaction on us to be not helpful in our functions of our whole faculties as a person, right? That we,
right.
because I really see, like you're saying, your pineal gland, your intuition, and I kind of did this on some recent, your intuition, God, there's another word I was looking at, and showing that these different things, your intuition and some of the other aspects that we have within us are actually put there. We don't have to pray for help. It's there. We need to activate it.
Right. Right.
Intuition. There was another one that really hit me the other day, and I brought it out and can't remember it off the top of my head. That really hit me, that it was similar to intuition that we had. I did a video on it recently. Can't remember. Gosh, memory.
Into it's all good.
Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's and I want to also share that um the heart is our house of the memory of our memory,
yeah,
our emotion, right? The emotion.
yeah,
So electric
yeah.
motion, right?
Energy and motion. Huh?
Energy, emotion, but also our heart
Yeah,
has electric. So
yeah,
there's a lot of thing in there. So that's why a lot of people have heart issues,
yeah,
very, very common heart issues. And that's one thing that's really gonna be challenging because everything, I mean, some of us really live with emotion.
yeah. Especially when you have a lot of emotions, you're an emotional being. There's something about those water signs too with that emotion, right? They definitely deal with it even to a different degree. It seems like I can't think of some people that have planets rising in those signs, but definitely keep a guard up. The heart's like a brain, right? It's kind of like
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. Yeah. So, and it's not really ideal to have a heart transplant.
yeah. Mm,
So, yeah, I mean, with any transplant, unfortunately, yeah, people wants to survive, you know? So,
wow. I never thought of that. When you said it, it clicked in me. What really goes into transplanting the heart? What, because it's not really yours.
exactly. Well, it's
Mm,
gonna be the
good one.
memory of that person, actually.
Ooh. Then you wouldn't be dealing with your own stuff. You'd be dealing with somebody else's. Woo. Mm.
Look at Kuya Danny, what's the matter with you?
No, I see a
Just
lot in.
like, just like same thing with what do you call this? Surrogacy. That's not, even though it's your cell, that's still the person's character or whatever, health or whatever it is with that woman who's carrying that baby.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the system. It's not going to be 100% the mother and the father.
No, it would only be 50
Right.
because it
Well,
wouldn't be
maybe, yeah,
mother.
because
And then it would
everything
be the other mom.
circulations,
Wow.
yeah,
You opened my
circulating.
mind to something to think about.
Another one, huh?
Surrogate. You gotta see what that means.
Yeah. So transplants and yes, there's a lot of things about health,
Yeah.
even chemo. Chemo is kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely a whole
yeah,
with chemical. It's a chemical.
right.
And I know one of the chemicals in there was used in the World War I and was
Oh
banned.
yeah. You told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Yeah.
awareness of us at this time, because we have so many people that, we come from the West or we live in the West and the Western culture. Um, Somehow it's taken away from a lot of ancient cultures who did a lot of ancient things that were different in medicine, in mindset, in practices, spiritual, in just everyday cultural practices, and having these gifts and in using herbs and leaves and medicines from the earth to deal
Mhm.
with certain types of, whether it was a cough, a cold, a headache, knowing how to use roots and all this, being really masters at what comes to an alchemist, right? Like an
Yeah.
alchemist.
Right. Oh, hold on. I was gonna share something to you. Just a minute. That's it. So remember how I said about when I went to Mount Shasta, right?
Yeah.
And then the Lemurians are from there or
From,
out there.
yeah.
So I bought a card. I saw this card, happened to see one. So I draw my cards today. And remember I told you, excuse me,
So is that
we're
tarot?
it's like messages.
It's not tarot.
No, no. So
I say,
I
are you gonna
draw.
do me a tarot reading now? I'll take it.
Oh, really? Okay. No, no, it's not a tarot, but it's you want the Lemuria a message. So remember we're gonna talk about I said holistic, right?
Yeah.
So when I draw the card, I just did like this. So it flipped. Three, I was just wanting one, but three came out, right? So guess what's in here? It says healing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it's yeah, says the Lemurian. Hold on. My The Lemurian were healers, naturally intuitive and accustomed to navigating energetic-based realities. We all have natural healing abilities that are advanced when we deepen our energetic awareness.
Mm-hmm.
When we perceive the world beyond the more well-known senses, we start to receive information and wisdom different from that which stems from intellect. By tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we realize that anything is possible. Extend the margins of your awareness. Revisit a situation from a broader perspective or higher vibration with a focus on healing. Perhaps the issue is simply an outdated or limiting perception placement. You have the ability to align to a fresh new timeline inspired by wholeness. How wonderful is that, Kuya?
Yes. I liked everything it said. I just was closing my eyes and just taking in every word because I could see that once we get into expanded, there's so much possibility every minute. is like impossibilities, like pregnancy of impossibilities are available. You know,
Right.
yeah,
It was so I mean I truly believe in these messages because you know it's a spiritual thing. So the second one it says beyond the mind.
mm, wow,
It is so amazing.
it's like
So
who's listening to us?
y- yes. So it says the mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering.
Wow, that was like the other side of the first one.
Right?
Yeah,
Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. Telling me already. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. And we were just talking about heart
yeah,
and gut,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these
Mm.
concern your even yourself? Even are these concerns even yours? It's telling already. Remember, I was telling you I have that fear of really with my intuition.
Yeah,
So this is telling me, hey, girl, go for it.
yeah. And it was like the first one was telling you you got so much potential.
Right.
The second one was telling you this is when you go the other side of the first one to the lower side, right?
Uh-huh.
All this blockage that you create for yourself. And this one
Right.
would be like the third one's almost like sounding like it's time for you to take this and this is you run with this right here because this is what's going to be your medicine, almost like this is what's going to be the cure for the negative was sandwiched in between the two positives. Well,
Right. Right.
not really negative, it's reality. We deal with that lower self that tries to put us down, right?
Right.
The shadow self. What are
Mm-hmm.
you going to do now?
Yeah, exactly. And look at this third one. The title is The Infinite,
Mm,
right? Powerful. It says, as Lemurians were only partially incarnated, their bodies were much higher,
mm,
less physically actualized, and less affected by aging. They were also aware of their infinite nature. This card of rebirth can appear after challenges that have required a level of surrender. With you have arrived at a beginning. Revel in your newfound inner freedom. Blockages have fallen. You just said this. Blockages have fallen away, and there are opportunities to step into. Stretch your wings and arise like a phoenix. You mentioned that too before. Born anew, ready for a new cycle of growth. Celebrate, honor the road that brought you here, and prepare to take flight with the tools you have gathered through your elevation process. Didn't we just mention that earlier?
yeah, that's amazing because it's exactly what we were talking about. All three of them. I mean, the middle one, we know we're
And
dealing
you
with that every
and
day,
I haven't, yeah, I haven't even read this to you.
and it shows how much the connection we have with ourselves and the spirit realm, and just the negativity that tries to just kind of tug us back down to instead of going into full potential of having no limitations,
Right.
walking past the limitations. Walk,
It's awesome, right?
yeah,
Okay, so give me a number and I'll draw, count it.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow. Realm Bridger.
Yeah, that's the dreams.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Kuya, Danny.
Wow.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
You can read it?
Yeah. The realm bridger. Yeah.
Okay. So it says here, raise your as you raise your vibration, explore different state of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you believed only happen in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas and creativity. This card is about bridging the seen and unseen.
Mm,
Just just as water changes, Kuya, you just mentioned about the
mm,
water. Just as water changes from solid to
mm.
gas to liquid,
Yeah.
we can catch the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even maths can form the path of the visionary. From the mind and the heart, visions can merge into matter. Dream outside the box. It's time to create the foundations of our realities in a fresh new way.
Wow. That's everything that we've been talking about was in those cards.
Right?
Yeah. And that's why we shouldn't be surprised.
No.
Thinking out of the box. We're,
Right?
we've came out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Where mind is open for
Right.
the Wi-Fi's on.
And we were talking about the realm, different realms, and
Yeah, and the bridger, the gap, bridging the gap. The dreams
yeah.
bridge the gap.
So this card is about bridging the seen and unseen,
Yeah.
just as water changes from solid to gas. I mean, very, very on.
So
Wow.
the gas neck to the ether. Yeah.
Yep.
The
So
air. Yeah.
and it's
Water.
they have good
Ice. Yeah, I see that.
images.
Yeah, I see that. Almost looks
I'll
like
I'll I'll send it to you.
yeah, yeah. Send it to me, especially the cards you read. Take
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
those are good to keep your mind on. Even with meditation to keep your mind on. This is the mindset I really am working
Yeah.
toward. I don't want to
I
get dragged down by a car because the person's old man's going 25 miles an hour in a 40, and I want to run him off the road or pass
yeah.
him some fat
Yeah,
instead
I
breathe.
my cards I rake them. I during full moon I put them, activate them. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah. Well, and the other one too, my energy oracle. It gives me like a road map.
yeah, like
Like where am I right now?
yeah,
So and it's really sometimes I was like, this is not accurate, but it's eventually it's like giving me that message ahead of time.
yeah. Have you know what's because like you said something and then sometimes we think that like oh God we're off and we did something or we're missing it or something and then really you needed to go that because it was doing something you weren't aware of for somebody else or in a connection for somebody else or
Oh
for
yeah.
that you didn't really see
Mhm.
happening and the other side he goes that's why it happened it was for
Right.
this or
Right.
meeting somebody or could be
Right.
anything. The reason I'm saying that there was this show that was on in the early 2000s called Joan of Arcadia. I don't know if you remember it.
No.
And it was she and it's on YouTube and she um she was in high school, but she was having these experiences with God. And
Uh-huh.
God would appear through her through these different people, like the custodian, a basketball player. She walked by the court and the ball would go over there and she'd pick it up and he'd go, "Thank you, Joan." And she'd go, "Okay, what you told me earlier didn't work out. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to quit looking so shallow.
Mm-hmm.
There's something deeper in the roots.
Right.
Trying to increase, there's more of a message here than you were saying.
Right.
You thought it was a failure, but it really was bringing something more
Right.
out of us, or there's a purpose for it.
And that's, oh my God, that is really, really true. At least for me, when I came to realize that and being more aware, like, okay, this is not, I know I made a mistake or I may have missed something, but there is always going to be an opportunity that my angel or my guide, whatever, whoever is going to still lead me to that path,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And if it's not like, like sometimes with the old mindset before of like praying and then, God, I need this, I need that, or why is this, why is that?
Yeah.
That's not how, that's not how I think anymore. Or I do my wish or my meditation kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's really different now. And yeah.
And then when you look at that, look at the change that happened to you instead of thinking, I have to change more, right? Because we always see that part. I need to
Right.
still work on this. And this, of course, it's there.
Right.
I even see it for me. I see it clearly because I see so much light. I see my shadow self kind of in the corner of the room going, almost or and then coming out, see, I told you couldn't do it,
Right. Right.
almost a judgment of yourself, right?
Right. Right.
And or is a judgment of yourself when really you are changing. You're metamorphosing even
Yeah.
faster now, probably the
Right.
last few months. Um,
Right.
the change is
And
happening.
yeah, and it's really true for me at least that I realized like you really need to know how to love yourself by yourself
Yeah.
without any influence of anyone. Because now that I'm living alone, I was just telling my fiance that it really helped me to really be
Ooh, fiance. Yeah.
to really be grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point that even though we don't see each other, I'm okay. He's okay. We're
Yeah.
fine. You
Yeah.
do our own thing without any kind like, oh, like being lingering, lingering.
Or the judgment, or
Versus when I was younger, like I need somebody to be with me all the time.
yeah.
But now I'm learning, like, yeah. So
You know what?
it
It's setting you up, or it's providing that to really have share love with other people, somebody, you really have to love yourself first.
right.
Because you won't love
Exactly.
anybody thoroughly if you don't love yourself.
Exactly.
It will hit
Yeah.
a wall.
Yes. And that's another thing that I wanna be able to share to other people, the youngsters, or even my age, that are
Yeah.
looking for love or a partner, you know,
Yeah.
um, that is successfully partner with somebody that they trust each other and they really love because I think was it James, were you guys talking about love?
Ye- yeah, we may have. James probably jumped up, definitely jumped all over the place. I could see James talking about, yes, for sure, more than the
Yeah.
other two. Yeah.
So right with
James is
well
married too, because so he isn't
yeah, so with the relationship, to be successful, you, for me, I have to know myself what I want, right?
yeah,
So, and I have to put myself like the opposite one. Like, would I love myself? Would I date myself or would I marry myself? But some people will not admit, like, oh, I'm a good catch or whatever, right?
yeah,
But really, do you really go deep inside and really see who you are?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
So,
places there that even if you know, with somebody else or whatever, that are in those deep places that you see yourself, I mean, really going deep, that you won't, you're the only one that knows.
right,
It's kind of your place of nobody knows you like you do when you really
right.
get to that place.
If you're really being honest to yourself,
Yeah.
so that's how I see it. And I think it's all about balance as well.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to balance everything for yourself, for myself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, it's a very, very
You know what?
expandable
This went really
expandable.
fast. It's almost at the 2 hour mark, I think.
Are you going to have it segmented? I
I
hope.
wasn't planning to, but maybe I might just do the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not gonna be like too
No,
much.
it will work.
No, for the listener, what I'm saying.
Some people might have to listen a
Cut
few
it.
times to listen to it all,
Cut.
depending on their because me and Charles did what was it, 101 minutes. Me and the other day, Charles ended up going 100,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think Clayton went a little, like 67, 71 minutes.
Oh, really?
But me and Charles went like over an hour and a half.
Oh, and like ours right now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
'Cause, yeah, I usually listen to, if I'm not talking on the phone on the way to work, I listen to it. So that's
yeah.
how I get to, see, hear, listen to everything. But with, so many things already that you've done, my goodness, I couldn't catch up.
It's just that I'm putting I know I'm putting content out all the time because that's how it catches. If you're
Uh-huh.
hitting and missing, you're not hitting the algorithms and you're gone. But if you're always putting it out, it needs to be put out. Some of the stuff needs
Oh,
to be saved. What if they knock down the internet and the stuff is gone, which would not surprise me that it would happen.
uh-huh.
You need to have it in a backup.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because this might be valuable in the future if they were to do that, right? Because people are going to
Mm-hmm.
need to know stuff, and then you have these still saved.
Okay. So yours still, it's saved. I mean, there's a backup.
Yeah, I need, what is it called? I got to get is it a hard drive or something to copy all of it on?
Not
Or
on cloud.
yeah, it's on my computer,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I want to if just in case it went down, I guess you can still get
Right.
it from the well, I guess if there's no internet, you couldn't.
That's definitely a no.
So it needs to be uploaded to something, taken off.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, it's just
Oh,
more
wait.
information at this
If,
time.
so if there's no internet, you can't, even though it's uploaded already or it's
You'll
saved.
have it somewhere, have it that maybe you can play on something later when
Mhm.
it might get erased and then they'll start it back up with what they want on it, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
wouldn't surprise me if what's happening, where we're at in time, what they're doing. Uh,
Well, Kuya Danny, let's just be positive.
yeah.
Time to move.
And that's why I think we really need to empower ourselves with our fullness of our power. So we don't
Right.
want to be deceived,
Yes.
especially with things, and we need to be able to walk in some power that we do.
Yeah. Well, it has to balance. Like I
Yeah.
said, I still believe that
And not let things bother us as much as it would the right people who
right,
don't know. They'll be
right,
open season like ducks on a pond
right, right,
because they don't
right.
know. Yeah.
Yes. And there's still a lot of works to be done by
Yeah.
you and me.
Yeah. Yeah. We do. I'm
And
glad we're being able to do this and share
yes.
these, just these times, make videos like this with the others. And we are still going to do, because Charles is on board with it. You're on board.
Mhm.
I think Clayton's on board. James, I'll ask again, but I know he's busy, but I think he'll be on board. We're all going to get together and do this, or
Five
however we
hours.
organize with all of us on this space right here,
Yeah.
and be able to
It
put,
will be exciting.
yeah.
It will be
In fact, if you
exciting.
listen to Charles, he mentioned you. He says, "Yeah, you
Oh,
had the Reiki healer." That's what he's.
Oh. So he's watching also, huh?
Yeah, he actually just
Yeah.
texted me, he goes, I'm watching your new video. It just came out at 7:45 right now.
Yeah, I really hope people will try the Reiki.
Before we go,
Yeah.
I know we're at the 2 minutes felt like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I mean, we really flowed, and it's always like this
Yeah.
when we get spaces. It's always seems it is like this. Is leave your if you want to leave your information again or email, whatever you want to. Anybody in the Southern California, IE area, want some
Um,
Reiki healing? If you got some situations in your management or you got pain, come see Vena. She's certified Reiki practitioner. Is that the best way to say it? Is a practitioner the best way to say it? Is that what
at
you?
this point, it is.
Yeah. Uh,
Yes.
Visionary, mystic, um,
Funny.
funny. Yeah. All of the above.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, just wanting to connect and make everything better for the unity of people, for the betterment of themselves, and especially healing. A lot of people are dealing with pain. They are.
Yes. Yes. That is true.
An everyday thing could be.
Yeah, so please look website Venus, that's the planet Venus Reiki Healing, and it's located in Ontario. It's close to the airport. It's in Vineyard. Yeah, you can call also 909-263-9411, or you can text me if you want to know more about Reiki.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, anybody that's open to it, and that I actually sent my friend who is on level he's from the one level from a master. I sent him the
Mhm.
information you've gotten. I haven't talked to him for a couple of weeks, but he told me thank you when I sent it.
You see, in Southern California?
Yeah, not too far from your
Oh.
office. He's kind of on the Montclair by.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
He went to a place over there to go through it. He's the one that mentioned to me, he knew this lady that had this store, crystals, some of the stuff in the store, and they were having classes, and he did the Reiki, the person that was teaching Reiki and got certified. And also he went on an excursion with ayahuasca in the desert with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I want to try that, but I don't know if I want to try it. Yeah. But
I
also,
would.
I also had a video with my Venus Reiki with LA Destination LA, the show. They
Okay.
have for small businesses. So it's also in the YouTube actually. I
Okay.
don't know. Did I
I haven't seen it. LA
no?
Destination, you said?
Yeah, just type in the YouTube.
Okay, LA.
Yeah, I uploaded it over there. So, and I'm gonna launch my new website, but I haven't registered yet or paid it yet. So it's gonna be a new website.
We believe
My
everybody here that it will be a abundance that will go with this, helping
yes,
people and abundant for everything connected to it.
yes, thank you, Cliff. And you're gonna have your Lemurian reading too.
Yeah, and
It's a message.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's very deep. I felt it. I was actually meditating and just breathing to it. Um, for me, everybody here that listens on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
rumble.com, WCU D Boy and WCU TV on rumble.com is the place to go. I'm downloaded 8 videos there already from the
Oh,
past
okay.
and future ones. 2 of yours are on there, Vina, and go
Oh,
there and they practice not censoring shit. If you can believe it, they won't
oh.
there. You can say
Mm.
exactly how you feel. You can
Mm-hmm. But you have to
talk about.
register, right?
You just sign up and they do the
Sign
email
up.
and you can put videos or watch. There's a lot of videos there of all kinds of
Oh,
things from
really?
cooking A to Z. But
Mga
place where a lot of
uncensored.
people went there to share their stories the last 4 years on things happening in the world, and a lot of doctors who were fighting what was going on were actually on there
Oh, wow.
at
That's
that time.
that's That's good to, yeah, I got your text on
Yeah.
that.
I actually sent probably the link to it. So yeah, that's another thing, the W, because I'm uploading to rumble.com, and of course, and I'm just gonna rant a little bit on Spotify. I tried to upload videos. I have 3 different channels. I tried to migrate them. It didn't work, and they gave me little of no help in their customer service. And I even looked them up to write a review, and I seen they had a 2.1, so the reviews are bad. 2.1 is a low score on the reviews, like 50%.
Oh,
Or their customer service was, the reviews were 2.1, which doesn't
oh,
surprise me because I'd rate them lower than that.
right,
Because
right.
I was there, and they took
The
over the
2.1.
old pod. They actually bought out the podcast I was on.
Uh-huh,
It was called Anchor, and it was only audios.
uh-huh.
And they actually bought it out and made it audio and connected video to it. But they just, you can't talk to anybody. Like most of
Oh,
the companies now, everything is
yeah,
AI. You can't
right.
connect with the organic ones. It's always an
Well,
artificial one they'll want to keep you at.
they probably don't get paid good enough. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, and then you're not helping people. I'd rather talk to somebody 100% of the time than
Mhm.
put something in, and then you give me 10 answers and none of them pertain to what I put in. I said,
Right,
right?
yeah,
Your 10 answers isn't what I'm talking about. I see that all the time, where if you give me a person, they can make adjustments because they're organic.
right,
They're not
right,
programmed.
right. Oh my gosh, I know,
But
I know.
anyways, that's just my little rant on them. So I actually took Spotify down and stopped doing it. So I got 10 days to change it, but they just not giving me the help I want. I got 3 different
Right.
channels and I can't migrate.
Well, it's not meant to be in there, maybe.
Possibly not, but I've looked for other ones, and it's really been kind of hard to find other places to get it on without paying a price, uh,
Mm,
which I may do in the future, but definitely rumble.com.
right. Okay,
And
I
of
got that.
course, YouTube.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
And then remember Vena's business. If you're hurting or in any pain, try energy.
Yeah, and block your any kind of thing going on in the circulation.
Yeah.
And it's really, yeah, I mean, it's so obvious. Now we know that we are made of energy.
Yeah.
So, there's more to know. Our body
Yeah.
is really all electrical.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a matter of trying it out. So
Yeah.
it's harmless. That's one.
Yeah.
And like I said in my video with that interview, she asked what's the side effects. I said the side effect is you're going to be feeling better. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not only, but this is not just a one-time gig, a
Right.
one-time session. If you really want to
Right. It's not a one-hit
be
wonder.
healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be healed. Because
Yeah.
like I said, still different people has different way of accepting things and healing process, matter of healing process. Yeah.
So it's an energetic, like you said, energetic field, electromagnetic, magnetic,
Mm-hmm.
which we're
Right.
all made up of. And what hit me right now is, as I know we keep going, is,
That's fine with
is
that.
that Einstein was asked a question: how does it feel like being the smartest man alive? And you know what his answer
Mm-hmm.
was? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Why don't you talk to Nikolai Tesla?
Uh, okay.
What did Nikolai talk about? Everything is 369 energy for,
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, goes
Yes.
back to the
But
energy
yeah,
game. Yeah.
the frequency. It's, oh my gosh, it's just really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there different people are gifted. You're gifted with something, I'm gifted with something, and it's just up to us to enhance it and to really know what really matters to you,
I'm still
to
trying to
each
figure
person.
it out. For me, no.
Yeah. I already figured it out myself,
For me?
because I'm doing this. No, for me. So I have to know you more and talk to you more. But I think there's just so many things going on with you. But on what I hear from you since listening to your podcast is you are a different entity
Hmm.
because you sort of started in a like biblical, a lot of biblical thing.
Yeah,
So I feel like you are a combination of a lot of culture, and you just have to go deep into your ancestors, connect, because you with all your knowledge and what you're doing right now with the podcast, and I was thinking about this when you said your job, right? What happened when you told me that story. So there is a connection there of, let's just say, coincidental, but not really, but it's because
yeah,
it's meant to be for you,
yeah,
because you are able to do this. There's like a break from you from job, and it has to happen like an injury or some sort. But this is really what, since it's successfully happening, and then you're gathering more people like me, we attracted each other. So there is really a sequence of your journey here
yeah.
on whatever's gonna happen.
You know,
So that's
what you just, said is in line with somebody said to me. Actually, my youngest son said to me about 7, 8 hours ago in a conversation.
mm-hmm,
And I kind of have known what really floats my boat to make me happy. And it's really the almost like the teaching and
mm-hmm.
talking, the
Yeah,
podcast. I mean, I used to
right.
do this for years in a biblical based, even though we were out of the tradition per se. It was still
Mm-hmm,
that kind of a metaphysical thing, but it was the teaching and bringing forth, doing stuff like this.
mm-hmm,
I just know that I have that. I could walk into a place and say, "Here's a microphone. What do you got
mm-hmm.
planned? It doesn't matter. Go," and I will
Right,
be okay.
right. Yes, yes, yeah. That's how I feel about you. Yeah, you have lots of different knowledges, and maybe coming from different spirits coming to you.
Yeah,
And you're even traveling when you're asleep.
right.
See?
Lincoln
And
Continental.
seeing all those things, the good part, and now you're back to whatever place you're at.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a good thing. And even when we met, and then I wanted to have this kind of conversation like this, and see universe align me to, like we met. I mean,
yeah,
I know we're not like a million followers right now.
right.
Later on,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a beginning of a good, our mission in our purpose at this point.
yeah.
So
And you said something a little bit ago, like the connection, things happen and this person connects to you. James, out of the blue. I mean, I was told to go to an event James was at. I didn't know James.
right.
I wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have met him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, same thing with me.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you could have not went when
Yeah.
see ya.
Was oh
PFA.
promoting.
It's
Yeah,
a
because
very comfortable shirt. That's
right, right.
um, but
And it's a nice one
PFA,
too.
yeah,
It's a nice one.
is that
Yes.
there's others who are getting layered in different
Mm-hmm.
areas, almost like they're getting ready to be in touch with us. I'm kind of feeling
Mm,
seeing this right now, but they're being
cool.
prepared to be ready for that, and us too, in a sense, too.
Right, right.
People are
I
in
mean,
different levels, and we have to be able to be with wherever they're at. That's fine, but they're opening, and I want more. They're not stuck
Right.
and say, no, I'm going this way,
Right.
that way. They're like, I hear you, but I'm in maybe a different degree that needs to still come up to where you're at. But that's okay. You can always descend to be with, ascend and
Right.
descend. You can descend a little
Yeah.
lower to meet somebody where they're at.
Right. Right. Yeah. But they have to tone down their ego.
Yeah, it's a process because ego's not
Right.
going to survive in this realm.
Right. Right.
You'll be seen.
Yeah.
You can't
I
fake it.
mean, I had those moments, of having that ego triggering me, I mean, activating before. So as I learn all these things, I'm cutting that. Unless I have to no, it's really even when with my mom right now, I'm texting her. I actually like told her like, hey, I'm gonna be there on this weekend to pack
Mhm.
stuff, And she said, I'll be at work. Okay. So I mean what we have that, so I'm
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I have to be
Maneuver.
brave, like what I told my sister. Yes, I'm ready. Because I already like
Yeah,
have my protection.
yeah. And you made up your mind and you already did it.
Yeah. I now what I'm doing right now, Kuya Danny, by the way, I don't know if you want to do this. When you're meditating, um, try to see the colors, um, to protect yourself. The last one will be the blue one
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm.
put, to cover yourself with those colors.
It's almost like
Purple,
a field, huh?
yeah, the field, yeah. But when you're imagining, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And so far it's great. I mean, it's more shield
Yeah. And it
for
does
me.
work. We do have those protections there.
Yeah. Because when I do Reiki, I clean the field.
Yeah.
That's what the Reiki practitioners are doing. Cleaning the field of so there's no muddiness, there's no darkness.
The
It's
mud.
like gonna be a steady, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing, if a person does not really wanted to have a Reiki, I just share to them how to protect their energy field.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because it's also different colors. So
Yeah.
what I see with you right now is white.
What
It's a higher awareness. White.
what would you say? What do you see in that? What's with the white? Anything particular?
Well, just clarity. You're clear. Oh my gosh. And the white came out. Like it got clearer. Oh my God.
Wow.
Like there's like a beam of white just when you move like that. I don't know if that's the lighting or whatever, but it's just like a flash.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Probably that's what it.
Flash.
Yeah, because that's a whole that connection of we see the seven colors, right? And then in the poles, because we got poles, right? The plurals, the poles is in
The
between the seven or outside the seven, you have black and white.
black and white.
Yeah, they're the
What?
two poles, and then you got the colors in between
Oh,
because those are the polar opposites, right?
uh-huh. Oh, the black and white. Okay.
Which
You
some
got
would say, oh, they're not colors, but they are. I mean,
mhm.
they're the absence of colors, both of them, but not really. One's completely the opposite of the other, but really that white comes out of that dark, right?
Right, right.
That
Oh,
and then the other seven are always present, whether we see them or not. That's the prism, right?
right, right.
Wow, I just seeing that is why you have to have different perspectives. Because if you're only seeing a black or a white, you're not seeing there's seven other fitting perspectives in there.
Mm-hmm.
You might be missing.
Right.
Just a thought. But it makes sense
Yeah.
to
Whatever makes sense.
me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so are we closing out?
Yeah, we can. I mean, what are we going on? Two and a half? God, that went by fast.
Yeah.
2 hours and 22 minutes, somewhere around there.
Wow.
222. Yeah.
Is that a record-breaking time
Yeah, it's my longest one so far.
so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna beat that? Oh, maybe when we're all together, it's
That could happen.
probably. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just me and you, and it's already 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's a good thing that on this thing I have 30 hours.
I know. For real?
Yeah, it
30
says you
hours.
could go up to 30 hours. It's for bit, it's the upgrade from the 40 minutes of free and they shut you off. But when
Mm.
I found out what I did wrong was not sign in. You have to
Oh,
sign in to
okay.
get recognized. So I was just going in there and
Oh, I
saying, let's
see.
start and not signed in.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Well, my last sharing is like what you started a while ago. Always do your deep breathing if you feel like there's heaviness in your chest, or like you've been working for the past 3 hours sitting down and you just work. Take a little moment of breathing, inhaling and exhaling deep. That's the power of
It's magic. Yeah,
healing. Healing.
it's definitely magic. I mean, I
No
can
other,
just feel always that deep breathing is
right? It's refreshing.
very essential for me.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Change your mindset.
And
Reduce
another one, Kuya. If you are, I know some people may not want to do this, but if you're in a crowded place or you just came back from work, you're home, and just rest for a minute, but make sure you take a shower at the end of, before going to sleep. So that
Okay.
you're cleansing, all this negative energy. It's also part of it, the cleansing.
Wow, it makes sense because you're clearing space and the
Yeah. And
negativity.
the water. Remember, Kuya, water.
Yeah.
But don't burn yourself. Because you said fire can be.
A cleanser, yeah.
Don't burn yourself with fire.
Right, yeah. I don't know if you heard the video. Did you hear what James said? What he did to change his mindset was take for a amount of he put on the video of what was it for 6 months straight he took cold showers because that
Oh, yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah
And I don't remember what happened. I mean, what's the effect on him?
it took him out of the comfort zone
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
changing because you have to change because it's cold.
Right.
You
Right.
have to make the change because he said he put it cold.
Yeah. Well, in the Philippines, it's cold, even though it's hot. The water sometimes is cold in the morning, so we have to heat it up.
Yeah.
The water, we don't have heater I mean, now they have, but from the old.
Old days, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have heater, so you just heat it up and then add the water. I mean, it works, but
Yeah.
yeah. So cold water. Yeah. Well, let me tell you about that. Yes, it's perfectly fine. But again, because of different type of our body at temperature, there are some people that cannot tolerate heat and cold. And there is really an effect. For me, personally, I have effect on very cold temperature. That's why I can't go to snow. I get hives
Mm,
or
really?
swelling. Yeah. If
Breakout.
I'm not prop yeah, if I'm not properly suited with with thick clothes, I get hives right away. And I would know this one, my hand will have like hives and it's kind of like swollen.
Mm.
Yeah. Fortunately, not my face, but yeah, but my body will. It starts with my hand, so I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So that's it.
But it was an honor having you on again, and we did it. We will do this soon again, and we want to do the group one. And I'm going to start asking them when we can all have that one day to do it.
Yeah, it has to be weekend though, no?
I can see,
Maybe,
yeah. I know
yeah.
John can do weekends, and I think Charles can. Clayton's more. Yeah, I think we can.
I think Sunday, for me, Sunday, but I mean, I can be flexible, but Sunday will be, I guess, more open for me
Yeah,
on Sundays.
sounds
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you
All
again.
right, all right.
All
Thank you
right,
so much.
all right. Have a good
West
weekend. Wholeness,
Uncensored.
balance, vibrations. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Great rest of the
wholeness.
evening. I know it's night. It's about time for bed.
Yeah. All righty.
All right. We'll
Have a
talk to you
good
later.
evening
All right. You
and
too.
thank
Bye.
you so much to everybody. Thank you,
Okay.
Kuya Danny. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.